Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a busy executive, managing your supply chain probably feels a lot like trying to hit a moving target while blindfolded. Am I right? You're constantly balancing costs, inventory, and sky-high customer expectations. But at the end of the day, what is the absolute true bottom line of your supply chain dependability? Well, today, we're breaking down a really critical concept that completely separates the industry leaders from the laggards, and that's perfect order fulfillment and the OTIF metric. We're going to strip away all that complex jargon and give you the clear, actionable insights you need to truly understand your delivery performance.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think about the last major shipment your company received, or, sent out. If it arrived 3 days late, but every single item was in the box, would you call that a success? Conventional thinking might say, hey, we got the goods, the job is done, high fives all around. But in the realm of true supply chain dependability, accepting eventual delivery as successful delivery is a massive vulnerability. So today, we are going to challenge that exact mindset.
Here is our roadmap for today. Section 1. Demystifying OTIF performance. 2. The 1,000 laptops scenario. 3. Measuring on time versus in full. And 4. Breaking down cycle times.
Section 1. Demystifying OTIF performance, or the bottom line on fulfillment.
So before we can even begin to measure our success, we have to establish exactly what terminology we're using. OTIF, which stands for on time and full, is a key performance indicator. It's a KPI that companies use to ruthlessly evaluate their service rates and fulfillment performance. Now, a lot of organizations rely on these super complex safety stock formulas that attempt to optimize what we call a theoretical cycle service rate. But OTIF is totally different. It's the practical, hard measurement of your total stockouts over a given period. It honestly doesn't care at all about your theoretical models. It only cares if the customer actually got exactly what they needed, exactly when they were promised it. Period.
Section 2. The 1,000 laptop scenario, measuring success versus failure in the real world.
Now, what's really interesting about this is taking that abstract theory and applying it to a tangible business scenario. We want to see what success and failure actually look like out in the wild. So imagine a retail store places a single specific order with a manufacturer. The purchase order is for exactly 1,000 laptops. The manufacturer provides a firmly quoted delivery date, October 15th. Boom, that's our anchor scenario. The expectations are totally set. Now let's look at how the manufacturer might perform against this single purchase order.
In example 1, we have a literal perfect delivery. The truck rolls up to the retail store exactly on October 15th, successfully meeting that quoted order lead time. And even better, the manufacturer successfully shipped all 1,000 laptops requested. Because both of those conditions are perfectly met, this is recorded as a successful on-time and in-full delivery. But let's contrast that with example 2, which is what we'd call a fill rate issue. The truck arrives right on schedule, October 15th, great. However, the manufacturer only had 900 laptops available in their inventory, so they shipped those 900 and put the remaining 100 on back order. Does this count as a win? No way. The unit fill rate is only 90%. Because the requirement for the percent of orders delivered in full was missed, it fails the strict OTIF standard. All right, now let's compare that fill rate issue with example 3, a dependability issue. In this scenario, the truck gets delayed in transit and arrives on October 18th. So it missed the quoted lead time by 3 entire days. However, all 1,000 laptops are inside. The complete quantity of goods eventually arrived. Yet, this is still a complete OTIF failure. Why? Well, because the metric for percent of units required delivered on time was 0%. By missing that quoted lead time, the delivery completely fails the OTIF standard, regardless of the inventory being physically present. Section 3. Measuring on time versus in full. The mechanics of calculation.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how easy it is to fail this metric. So how exactly does an organization track this to actually achieve perfect order fulfillment? You need granular calculations for both timing and inventory availability. For the on-time piece, you measure delivery performance versus the quoted order lead time. At a super granular level, you track this as the percentage of units required that were actually delivered on time. Conversely, the in-full piece is calculated by evaluating the percent of orders delivered in full, or tracking the percentage of units required that were actually filled right from stock. To achieve true delivery reliability, distribution systems literally have to track both of these rows simultaneously.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. To calculate OTIF practically over any given period, you evaluate your total orders and determine the exact percentage of those orders or units that successfully met both the quoted delivery schedule and the complete requested quantity. You cannot have a stockout.
A true perfect order fulfillment metric demands that both conditions are flawlessly met. If you're only succeeding at one, you're failing the metric. It's really that simple.
Section 4. Breaking down cycle times and tracking the total process.
Now that we know what OTIF demands, how do managers actually control and improve it today? That requires shifting our focus to the underlying mechanics by tracking your total order cycle time. What does that mean? Basically, it's the completely elapsed time from the exact second a customer identifies a product need all the way to the moment the stock is physically placed into their inventory. This entire elapsed duration is what you have to compare against your quoted lead time to gauge true dependability.
To get a real grip on this elapsed time, managers can break the total order fulfillment cycle into really specific, measurable sub-processes. Here are the first 4 components. First up, order transmission and inquiry. Basically, how long does it take for the customer's need to even reach you? Second, order entry time. The administrative clock is definitely ticking here. Third is order promising in make-to-order environments, or order allocation in make-to-stock environments. And fourth, pick and pack time, which is just the time required to actually make and distribute the goods within your facility.
Let's move to the final stages and see how this builds out the rest of the timeline. The final 3 components are, first, dwell time for future dated orders. Second, delivery and transportation time. And finally, order invoicing and payment. Now, knowing these components is great, but how do we actually improve them today? Well, managers can take 3 immediate actions right now. First, automate your order entry to completely eliminate administrative delays. Second, redesign your warehouse layout to slash those pick and pack times. And third, digitize your invoicing to really speed up the final stages. By targeting these specific areas, you make sure on-time delivery becomes a total organizational effort.
Which brings us to a final, vital question for you to consider. Is your organization measuring eventual shipments or true delivery dependability? Are you guys giving yourselves a pat on the back just because the goods finally got there, or are you strictly measuring the timing and exact quantities to ensure true perfect order fulfillment? By utilizing the OTIF metric, you stop guessing and start knowing exactly how dependable your supply chain really is. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will catch you next time as we continue to unpack the metrics that drive real success.